Hi, this is Mod. It's nice to meet you. I'm a random guy who loves playing fighting games, or well, I discovered that this year in particular. Before this year, I really didn't like fighting games. I was more a shooter guy, playing games such as Team Fortress 2, Titanfall 2, FPS Legends, etc. Because, well, I was part of that group that thought that fighting games were really hard to get into, and people that do crazy combos have a special talent that is hard to learn. But thanks for games such as Dragon Ball Fighter Z especially, I discovered that I really like fighting games. Indeed, I love them. The gameplay and the music of the game was so awesome that oh my god, I keep coming back to the game. And thanks for the autocommand, I feel encouraged to learn how to do the more complex ones. I want to get better at fighting games, which was really important to the main theme of this video. So one day during summer, I decided to start playing Tekken 7, a game I broke years ago, but well, to be honest, was sending digital dose on my Steam library. So I came to the party like 8 years too late. Tekken is a 3D fighter franchise that was born during the PlayStation 1 era. Developed by Bandai Namco, it has 7 official entries and some spin-offs such as Tekken Tournament 1 or 2, and now with the incoming release of Tekken 8, I decided to start playing the game. So basically, I only have 1 year to squeeze everything I could get from these games before everyone moved to Tekken 8 and left the game totally empty. A bit of a story. Before we head into the main topic, I started playing the game as Nina. It was my first main because, well, she's a cool assassin. So with her, I managed to hit 100 victories, but I always was stuck at mentor rank. Let's say that her combos are really hard to learn, but I was having a lot of trouble trying to learn the butterfly move. So, besides having problems with other combo routes, for example, trying to start a combo using lows or other launchers. As my next main, I tried with Lydia. I really like her design. Like, man, imagine a politician who has no problem getting her hands dirty. Besides her foot design, which is a Poliski clarity, which I probably pronounced bad even with my broken English, was the first character I feel I was hitting better at the game back then in August. Her combos can be intimidating to learn at the first glance, but trust me, with enough practice you can get better with them. So to be honest, I got the idea months later after I realized that with Lydia I was getting somewhere, which pushed me to try to get better with her. So that's why I started recording my matches at Bloom Ground. So sorry if I can tell you about my first impression with more detail, so I'm going to try my best in order to explain what it feels like to learn Tekken. The main goal here is to get the warrior achievement, which is to head to the warrior rank as the name implies. Now, yes, you can get this achievement using the flame modes such as treasure hunt, but what's the fun in that? So I decided to learn how to head better with Lilian and playing the game to head better in order to reach the warrior rank and get the achievement. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video, and I am really sorry for my broken English, so no worry, I hope with time this thing gets better. So let's head straight to the point.
Round 1. Fight.
Okay, so starting on September 20, we start against a Kazuya player, which were 3 matches in total. To be honest, at this point I kinda grabbed the idea on what I should and what shouldn't do during a match. So you know, playing the game was particularly hard to me thanks to Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
KO. Round 2. Fight. KO.
The second match was the one I struggled to win. The only annoying thing about this fight was trying to avoid the grabs because I didn't know back then that was even possible to break them. I managed to break one, but it was more by accident.
Round 2. Fight.
Muszę wygrać w imię wszystkich Polaków.
Round 1.
Moving on, we have this match against Lydia. I mean, in reality, nothing interesting happens, and you're gonna see why, but I like to say that mirror matches are really fun to play time to time. I don't know why people complain so much about mirror matches. I mean, it's not like you play Tekken. I don't know, man. It's good to test who is better and test the knowledge of your mere character weakness because, let's be honest, some time to time it's good to remind what are the weaknesses of our characters to try to improve them.
No dobra.
Great.
To robię dla swojego kraju.
KO. Round 3. Fight. KO.
dla swojego kraju.
KO.
Muszę wygrać.
Round 1.
We had this match against this Virgin player, and in total were 2 matches. The first one, I managed to steamroll it.
KO. Round 2. Fight. KO. 1.
But the second one is where the tables were turned.
KO.
And I ended up losing. There is a glaring mistake in what I was doing here, but I promise I will talk about this later on with more deep.
Round 1. Fight.
Next line of footage we had this Brian. Trust me, this character is going to be a mess later on in advanced ranks.
Round 3. Fight.
The first match I lost because I didn't know how to deal with this pressure.
KO. KO. Round 3.
Now, something that you might have noticed is the way I play, which will become an issue later. But I ended up winning 2 of 3 matches. I know I'm going a bit quicker about this, but I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know how to tell you, but when you start playing fighting games and you're doing this kind of progress, you don't notice at first glance until later on the mistakes or the things you should have improved back then. So trust me, we're gonna talk about this later on.
Muszę wygrać w imię wszystkich Polaków.
Round 1.
Now, this is the part where I'm going a bit quick in these matches. First, we had this Asuka player at the Brawler rank. Probably this moment should make me realize that abusing strings was a good idea, but yet I keep using them for some reason, of course. I ended up losing. I ended up doing almost nothing to her. Hi, this is me in the future. I started playing Asuka. It's kind of fun, pull the chicken trick. Next one is a panda. It's really easy to punish her, but since it's a character that you rarely find, to be honest, I forgot what to do against her, and I'm gonna lie, this is a good panda that has actual survival skills, so yeah, I ended up losing. Okay, so rewatching the footage with more detail, yes, I'm going real quick about this fight because, believe me or not, this fight took me around 30 minutes. From 9 matches, I only won just 1. I guess we had to talk about this guy. Yes, this guy. Ratchet from Street Fighter 5. This match I think is where I can start talking about poking. Like the old saying, a mosquito bites in mask can kill you very slowly. The main thing about pokes is trying to do cheap damage to the opponent while he's blocking everything that you threw at him. At first, it seems not to be worth it, but in the long run it actually helps you to win. In this case I trained with forward 2 or down forward 2, which are really good pokes that also makes you do her standings quicker, but I lost the match. But at the same time I was making progress in my playstyle, or that was I thought. Something you might notice is that this is the first time I try to use the full arsenal of Lydia, but yet I heavily rely using 1-2-4-4 and this whipping move, which are good, but I was abused them. Basically the worst opponent I was asking to hit a low parry. As a side note, something I did notice at first because, well, is the fact that for some weird reason I keep trying to push forwards, but I forgot to block, so yeah, I was giving him free combos, so yeah, that kinda sucked in my part, and besides this was one point I stopped using all Lydia moves and start using only 1-2-4-4, which is really bad. So yeah, by the way, don't expect to hit me better, because oh boy, this bad habit will stay for a very long time. This is kinda an important fight, but I'm going quick because, well, she destroyed me. But the most important thing to learn from this fight is that never think that you can tank alone. You should always try to block low attacks because if it's not a launcher, it still does a considerable amount of damage, and it can put you in a very bad place. Looking close, to be honest, it's a bit annoying character, both in personality and fight style, but in reality it's easy to fight against her if you know how to block, and even if you know to predict a low parry. But the issue here is that I have developed my ability to try to read my opponent in order to block the lows at the right time. Besides, I was really sloppy because these moves are really easy to read, but still I wasn't hitting her attacks. I mean, for some reason I was really confused about that kind of string, but overall, yeah, it was a really bad situation.
Round 1.
In the next footage is a fight against Paul. From 6 matches against him, I managed to win only 2 of them. To be honest, I don't have much to say about this fight. I mean, we were on par most of the time, so back then I didn't think too much about the mistakes I was making back then.
KO. Round 3. Fight.
The only thing I notice now is that I keep pressing buttons on blocks, which, yeah, usually want to counter hit or block punish, but I was trying to do that in strings that were possible. Another issue is that I was launching random moves in neutral, which it didn't work at all most of the time. Other mistake, and a big one, is that I didn't try to block the low attack, so yeah, he was chipping a lot of damage.
You lose.
I'm going to skip some facts, but I'm going to say that Kazuya and Howard will become relevant later on. Especially with Howard, because with his flamingo moves, he has access to a lot of mix-ups. Besides, for some reason, this move in particular that can see possible to block docking, in actuality is a mid-loop hit, so yeah, it's a really bad idea to try docking this move. So for the moment, let's say that Howard is like a Dark Soul boss for the moment. Let's talk about Kunimitsu, which is an interesting character because she has a lot of tricks, which I also enjoy playing as her time to time. Now, the interesting thing about this fight was an early way to play as Lydia properly.
2. Fight. Round 2. Fight.
wygrać w imię wszystkich Polaków.
KO. Round 3. Fight. KO. Round 4. KO.
Like using lows like backwards down 2, using more moves, mix up things, and most importantly, playing a bit more slower to have time to react at the opponent attacks. It kinda helps that I played Kuznetsov before because I knew what type of BS I should expect from her and what moves I should be very careful, like her spinning kicks, the fact she can teleport, and some launchers as punishment.
Perfect.
So from these matches I won 3 of 5, which is a really good number to consider. Something odd about this fight is that this is the playstyle I should have started using more, but for some reason in the following matches I didn't use it anymore and it went into abusing the same strings over and over again, which will become a issue in the future.
Wszystko to robi dla swojego kraju.
The worst part, it literally happened in the next match against this Lee player. Just look at this. For some reason I was thinking, yeah, I can counter that, and let's see that keeping pressing buttons during a block string is a really bad idea. Besides, I didn't try to block or punish some of his moves. Overall, this opponent is doing what do you want to do in a match. Do this type of pressure to your opponent and he cannot react at time. Oh, finally I can start talking about King. Listen, if from every 10 matches 6 of them were against King, I will probably stop playing Tekken and uninstall the game. Thankfully that didn't happen, so I have time to figure it out how to beat him, and by figure it out I mean literally searching guides on how to try to break his throne. But let's go by parts. Of all the characters I hate playing against, he's the first one. He's the king, the number one. Second one is Lee Wulang, but more on that later. So, like I said earlier, there is a mechanic in Tekken called breaking throats, which by pressing a button at the right moment can help you escape from the grab. Now, keep in mind that you have to press one button or two, because if you try to button smash the way out, you are basically dooming yourselves. But since a king is a crapper, he has an entire catalog of moves that you have to learn how to escape, like a lot. I mean, just look at this picture. But, but we are getting ahead of ourselves, so let's put a break for a moment and go back to the match. So basically this move caused me a lot of troubles in the beginning of this journey because I didn't know how to break or escape it. Thankfully, this is the part where I started to develop the reading skill that you need to develop in fighting games. So I started to notice that he tried to head away from me so he can run towards me and yeah, keep spamming the same move. So what I did was to try to keep him at medium range so he cannot grab me in any way, but I still could attack him. It's not a perfect strategy, but it worked. By the way, you can actually break free by pressing 1-2 at the same time. I am telling you so you won't suffer like me. Oh yes, I hate this move too because you cannot block it by any way. Basically, this move screams, learn how to sidestep please. The most impressive part is that I managed to do a comeback and I managed to win by a pixel of light, like, Jesus, oh my god, I don't know how I did it. I mean, I survived because I didn't know why, but his rage art should have killed me with my hopes and dreams, but it didn't, because by just one frame, I managed to block it and win. Yes, I was checking that day, so I decided to take a long break. I'm going quick in this Howard fight. The only thing I can say about this is that I really should have practiced more against Howard because I didn't even know what to do in this type of circumstances. So yeah. Lastly, we have Joycey, and like Lucky Claw, I find her character a bit annoying. I mean, fighting her is really easy in actuality, but I really hate her personality. Not a personal against Joycey players. Well, back to business. In this footage we have 3 matches. The first match I lose because, well, was the first time fighting against her. So my mind was focused in analyzing her moves in order to figure out what she does, which is a really good mindset to have. That means that I was learning from my mistakes and tried to figure out characters as soon as possible. The match went on, and I managed to win 2 of 3.
Przesadziłam. Karetka już tu jedzie.
So far in this week I did a lot of progress, which I didn't expect to accomplish, to be honest. Like, really, I didn't expect to get this far with Lydia this quick. You can say this is because I started with 30 victories instead from starting from square one, or the fact I got 100 victories with Nina. But the thing that you're missing is that with Nina I never try to get better. It's more, with Nina I always stuck at metal rank. Yes, at that lowest rank. I didn't know how to do advanced combos because of the butterfly move. Besides, at that time with Nina I only played it like 2 times per week in a more casual way. But with Lydia, after 30 victories, I realized something was completely different. Something is snapped inside of me. okay, I'm gonna stop there. Honestly, I don't know why or how, but with Lydia I was getting this feeling of wanting to get better. And I was getting that feeling real quick. I was playing Tekken more often thanks to her. On September 30, I did a stream in Spanish where you can check it out. I tried to push into final rank, and let's gonna see if I managed to do it. The first fight was against a Negan player, where honestly I am really surprised I managed to win. No, I'm serious, because I used this stream so much that, yeah, that is a very bad idea, and you're gonna see why. I mean, look, he blocked the low, he should have won, but yeah, somehow I managed to win. Other thing that you might notice is the lack of grabs on my part, which you know, when your enemy is blocking everything, just grab him. The second fight was 3 matches against a Lily player, and I progressed to ascend to my regular rank. Sorry for my bad pronunciation. It was a really good fight, not gonna lie. The first time I lost, I tried to do a comeback, but let's see that I should see the kick coming. The second one I tried to be more patient, and it kinda worked. The third one, I finally remember that punish block is a mechanic in this game, so I figured out the pattern here and boom, won. Next rank. Now I'm going quick in these two fights. The fight against Asuka was more of a punching test rather than an actual fight. Like, no offense, but come on, look, if I went full aggressive, she could go to 2-3 or use to a part remove. So yeah, it's a good idea to go in a very slow way. Next in line we have a Lily again. A different thing and shows off. I guess it's a good time to mention that it's kinda weird seeing an American TV show making a crossover with a Japanese fighting game, but it seems like Harada was a big fan of the show. Personally, a weird decision, but such a power move. Next one was against this Akuma bro. He's such a bro, but unfortunately, it was really easy to put him down. Not really. Aguas 4 is really powerful against him. Sorry Akuma, but you cannot win against that hot kick. So we are going to focus in this gym player. Look at his username. Well, you cannot see because it's blurry, but it's in red. That means this guy has a lot of experience, and of course, he can mop the floor with me with ease. But the reason I want to focus in this fight in particular is that you see this low? You see it? So this is kinda the foreshadowing of my downfall to lower ranks. The fact that certain characters have this ability to do mix-ups, so you have to kinda read your opponent and figure it out what next move he's going to make. Now the final fight was against this Nautilus player, and thankfully at this point I kinda learned the idea that with Nautilus players you should always expect grabs, but you can blame them. Man, one day I should pick Final Fantasy 15. Okay, back to the topic. Something I had to learn from my bad decision is that with Noctis, you have to be very patient because his string can last too long and you have to wait to the perfect opportunity to boom. Now, returning to the topic, I managed to win, so to keep the win streak going on, I decided to end the stream and head to bed. Oh silly me, if he only knew, if he only. Something terrifying I had to reveal, this accomplishment was pure luck. These ranks are also known to find a number of players who are still beginners like me or people who abuse a certain mimic. Like I said multiple times, I was making a lot of mistakes that I didn't notice back then. That should help me stay in the blue ranks for a long time, but still, with enough luck I managed to head into the fighter rank. Look, I don't want you to get the wrong idea. Most of these players I fought did pretty well, and well, they are good players. Now, so what happens when you fight against someone who knows what they are doing? I got my ass kicked back to Brawler rank in a couple of matches. Since the community of fight, I pointed out the vague idea of why Amos have been doing this whole time. Using lows, trying to poke, being more patient, etc. The biggest flaw is that for some weird reason that I cannot explain is that I never used them again. I was relying too much on strength and basic moves. I know I was delaying the topic too much, but like I said earlier, when you are winning you don't think so much about the possible mistakes that you are making because, well, I am winning and doing something correct, right? Well, it's time to let's break down the mistake I was making during this long journey. Let's focus on what's important, doing damage. Unlike 2D games, in Tekken there are many ways to do damage, like poke damage from lows, side steps, low parries, uppers, punish block, etc. Like I said earlier, the main way I did pokes was with 1, 2, 4, 4, and 444, which are good moves, but using them in excess can really cause some big troubles. For example, since the third hit of this string is allowed, it's really easy to someone to parry, which is the worst case scenario possible because some characters can drain your life with one low parry. Believe me, it's not even that hard to do a low parry because it has a buffer time. So with Lydia, the correct way to do pokes is using all her arsenal. She has a ton of ways to poke. The most important one is down forward 2 and forward 2. The other way is down backwards 2. The string I was using is a good one, but in excess is like screaming, do a low parry please. So with Lydia there are two important strings, 1, 2, 2 and 1, 1. Both are excellent. The first one puts you in her stance, meanwhile the second one can do a counter hit if the opponent tries to punish you. The thing that was really bad for my survival was the lack of blocking lows. Some of them are easy to react, but others are quick. The thing is that for some reason I was relying too much on my reaction speed, which is fine, but there are times that you cannot just react it, you have to predict it. So this is kinda, I'm gonna start forcing myself to try to predict a low. Blocking the low that you predicted is really more easy than trying to react, because if you are a yellow bar, for example, you're screwed. It's really important that I had to improve this because some lows are launchers and you see with the gym players this is not a joke. Besides, some lows can give you the opportunity to punish them with a full combo. Now the playstyle I should try to replicate was the one I used against Kunimitsu, trying to play it slow and try to predict the moves. Not gonna lie, this method is good but takes a lot of time to perfect it. Because yes, going on the offensive is really good, especially with Lydia, but the problem with me, well especially me, is that I keep smashing buttons in order to get a good counter. So I'm going to try to be slower to try to avoid button smashing in that moment. Just to be clear, I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to be offensive, go ahead and try it. Thankfully, stopping playing the game for a while helped me to realize the mistake I was making, and thanks for consulting with other people, especially with Reddit. Thank you so much. I realized those mistakes and tried to work on them in order to improve them. Usually this is a part where I will post the odds I overcome, but I am not gonna lie, I don't think I can show it because it took me an entire month. To give you an idea how long it takes, basically I play it like from 2 to 4 hours per day, and somehow it went getting closer to Vanguard and going all the way back to the mentor rank. Sometimes I will win matches by ease, and other times they will crush me. And well, maybe this is my fault for becoming obsessed with my goal, because there will be times where it seems like I forgot how to play the game. But so basically, in a nutshell, I was stuck in a limbo where any improvements were not noticeable at all, or no existence at all. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm skipping the entire month of October. But thankfully, taking a long break helped me to come back with a clear mind. So literally in November, if I am not mistaken, I did a final push for dramatic purposes, and we're gonna see if at the entire month of trying to improve, it will give results. To not make this video longer than an RPG, I'm going to skip some fights from the following 3 days, mainly because, to be honest, I don't know what to comment or elaborate from those matches in particular. Starting on November 1st, we have this match against this Asuka player. This is by default the way I should keep playing the game. Slow, defensive, trying to predict my enemy, but back to the match. This is the first match I forced myself to use every move she has at his disposal, but more important, using her stances from foot camp to wolf stalking wolf. Now, as I know, it is really necessary to use them in neutral because it depends if you are far away from your enemy, because in distance you cannot block, so you kinda have to be sure what move you are going to use, from a low or from a middle. I think the main reason I keep using 1244 even I shouldn't have, because I discovered that if you use backwards 1+2 you can start a combo if you hit your launcher properly, or if not, you can use it to cast onward your opponent, but still, isn't this the best way to box damage? So since we are skipping footage, that does means I am skipping the fight. I am skipping the fights where I lost. I want to point the fights against a Lily player, which she was a warrior rank.
Dla swojego kraju.
Fight.
To robię dla swojego kraju.
Even if I lose, at least I can hit a taste of what I should expect from the man's ranks. Now we have this gym player, so since with Lily I was in a losing streak, that means I lost 4 matches. See, this is what I mean I was kinda stuck in a limbo. Well, back to the topic. This gym player back then kicked my butt, so I tried to play very slowly and try to predict the lows. it worked. Next we had another mirror match. I know it's kinda odd to mention this, but what I love about Tekken is the fight I can learn from the better player by just watching them. So this is what I try to do. Learn from what moves my opponent was using and if they worked and why they worked. So basically with this fight I went knowing I was going to lose, but I want to see what is look like a Lily player at that rank, what was her playstyle. So this is basically what's important. Use all your moves that you have at your disposal. So after this fight, I try to replicate all the things I learned from her.
KO. Round 3. Fight. Round 4. Fight.
So before ending this day, I want to go quick about this Dragon of Combat, because even if I lose, the fact I managed to stand my ground for 3 entire minutes is really an improvement. Besides, I didn't abuse the string this time. Also, I want to point out this moment where I used the word input and I managed to escape and grab, but I still lose. But man, that was funny. So the next day, the grind started again. To be honest, in this King fight, nothing really important happens, but I waste time I can talk more deep about King Throw and Throw Chains, so this is not going to be a deep dive, but I'm going to cover important aspects that I learned. This was also part of the mistake I was making back then, but let's say that it's like trying to solve a difficult math problem, but you don't have study the other courses yet. Like, it's a mistake, yes, but isn't one you should be hard on yourself, because trust me, there's a lot to unpack here and takes a lot of time to learn. Now, first of all, and something I learned much later on, is that when King ends a string and is about to do a grab, press real quick 2+4, it really helps to escape. I mention this because it's really important that you know this, because it's a beginner's trap. In the beginning of the video I also mentioned, when you see the King in this distance, be pretty sure he's going to use this move against you. This move you can break it with 1+2. Now, to be honest, you're gonna find this move at closer ranges but in later ranks, so when you see this animation in particular, press as quickly possible 1+2. Like I said earlier, covering a King Throw Chain will take me too long, so I'm going to go brief. Basically, did some research in Google and I found this Reddit post from this user. So look to the next step was going into practice mode and set the dummy to repeat the chain throws and try to expand the button to break them. Now, it's kinda tricky because some animations are really similar, but trust me, you can notice like this minor detail like the shoulder or where or which arm goes first. So the most common that every gameman is going to try to do is the rolling del cuddle. It does 110 damage, so yeah, it's a lot of damage. So basically the first path you have to smash one as fast as possible. When you go to the second animation, do one or two depending on animation, remember, and finally smash two as fast as possible. Like I said, this is not a deep talk about how to escape intros, but I would recommend using this image from this already post as a reference and try to break these moves in practice mode. Just remember, you have to spam one button at a time, not both, unless there is a specific command grab. Then I catch a pizza. Tutun. Moving on, I was sure about talking this fight, but not gonna lie, since you're talking about King, let's go against Lei. It's an interesting case because his whole playstyle are missiles, so he can go for lows and mid-lows really easy. So basically, if you try to block a low but end up being a mid-low, you lose. Since I don't have the DLC, it's really hard to try to practice against this opponent in particular. But basically, don't be so hard if you cannot beat him, because even from what I read, even higher ranks have troubles against him. But I think this that you should go more for the offensive, because, well, he relies on his stances, so don't hit him the time to react and try to read as hard as possible your opponent and try to figure out the pattern. But yeah, basically you're fighting a drugman, very fitting for the character. Going quick about this close fight, but take this advice with a grain of salt, because I know I have no matches against Chloe as a proof, but with Lydia, up 4 is really good punishment tool. One of the mistakes I keep making is my blocking was really lacking, because, well, these strings are easy to predict, but yet I was failing to to follow them. But still I managed to get a good pressure, and this time I tried to block punish. The part that makes me proud is that I remember her rage art is a low and boom, I win. So yeah, Chloe is really easy, but just remember to memorize her strings. Notice from Final Fantasy 50. Not gonna lie, I only played like a quarter of Final Fantasy 6, so I am not an informant about the Final Fantasy franchise. Talking serious, Noctis is basically an anime fighter, and by that I mean he's especially under a lot of pressure. There were 3 matches, the first one went fine until...
To to robię dla swojego kraju. No dobra.
Not gonna lie, I didn't expect to make big progress in only 3 days. As the beginning of the end, we had this Brian fight, and with that, we reached Vanguard and the final stretch of this challenge here. Then I lost against this team player, and I lost against this Howard. But not gonna lie, same thing as Lay, you kinda have to be playing the game like more than 400 hours to at least understand what's going on their minds. So yeah. By the way, I find kinda thick that Howard has a move that is clearly a high, but for some reason it's a mid loop. So yeah, be careful on that. Because if you crush, well, you're gonna eat the punch.
Co to robi dla swojego kraju?
We have this Kazuya player as the last fight of the day. Not gonna lie, something I really like about this fight was the fact I tried to keep my calm during this match because, well, against a Kazuya player, you have to expect almost everything, so, you know, playing slow was really helpful. To be honest, Kazuya has a lot of missiles, so it's really important to be ahead of your opponent and have a quicker reaction. I mean, it sounds like basic stuff and not really helpful, but trust me guy, I mean, if you see that your opponent is spamming lower kicks, you better start trying to predict that.
Round 2.
Next day, something I didn't talk about is unlearning the hard way that Steve Fox in the right hands can be an absolute beast. You kinda have to know how to deal against this pressure because you are no longer playing Tekken, you are playing Dragon Ball Fighter. So yeah, was two ranks about me, so I went with the idea that yes, this guy is going to mop the floor against me. It would be really nice conclusion for this video if this was the final fight, but hey, we are still at the last stretch, so you know, keeping my cool was really helpful. I mean, to be honest, kinda helpful that this Steve Fox not will fall out because yeah.
KO. You win.
Not gonna lie, the final fight was kinda left down. First of all, just look at it, the guy has just picked a hair for the first time. 0 victories and the green text indicates he's even above from Warrior. And looking at the record, yeah, it was a pretty easy match. Now, I don't want to shame him or offend him while pronounced out. I hope he really enjoyed the character and has improved since the last time I saw him. As the climax of the video, yeah, it's a complete letdown, I'm sorry. But still I'm going to put epic music from the epic game Thunder Force 5. You should definitely play it. Not gonna lie, you never underestimate the loss of your character or from anyone really. Kinda lame way to end the fight. Not gonna lie, it really feels really good to achieve this achievement. Like, man, imagine this. I picked this game for like June last year and tried to take it seriously in August and try my best to improve in the game. Usually it will take anyone like more than 6 months, usually years, but man, I managed to get this far in less than 4 months. I really love this game, man. Well, it's kinda bullshit at times, throwing James, Negan, Noctis, but man, I still really love this game. This game really feels rewarding for trying to learn from your mistakes because the game gives you enough information and tools to see what are your mistakes and how to improve them. By the way, I should really thank the Tekken Subreddit did for helping me out. I really appreciate all your comments to push me this far. I'm really thankful. So I was going to end the video there, but you know, I barely scratched the surface with Lydia, so there's a lot of things to polish, and not because the video ended in an anticlimactic note. Unfortunately, in November was the month the least I played Tekken because of the final exams of the semester. So yeah, hitting back was really rough, like real rough, like trying to learn the game again from scratch. So you can see I was kicked back all the way back to blue. I was really rusty in this part, and for some reason my brain predicted a move up too early, like a mess, man. It was a fucking mess. But like I said earlier, expecting bullshit all the time kinda helps to not feel so frustrating. Besides that, I still have less than a month to finish this challenge. So I'm going to cherry pick some fights because, well, this was the time I kinda hit the wall. Like I said earlier, being rusty kicked me all the way back to the blue ranks, but after a month of playing, I managed to go into warrior rank, but stayed there in a static position for a long time. Take this last segment as a resume of everything I learned, and I hope to improve when they release her in Tekken 8 as DLC. Let's start with Fang. This player is a medicator rank and hits like a truck. The first thing I say about this fight is that I'm trying to improve my movement, and remember this is a 3D fighting game. But most importantly, and submitting from time to time a struggle, try to do picks and use safe movements. I lost the first match.
KO. Final round. Fight.
Muszę wygrać w imię wszystkich Polaków. Os!
There were some fights I think were important to showcase as the improvements I did in this journey. Daily Dragon because man, in Tekken 7 he's fucking nuts. Like I say, there's a lot I need to improve, like a lot. Tekken is a simple game to make combos, but really hard to master, like really hard. There are a lot of things to keep in consideration, and I keep doing wrong, like not using lows to break defense, not using the 3D environment at the fullest, or time to time forgetting to use all my characters' moves. But I cannot deny, this video game sparked my love for fighting games because before Dragon Ball Fighter C, by the way, F, I really didn't get why people play them, but now I do know. The adrenaline, the real like a book, trying to do combat, etc. is really amazing. I'm sorry if this last time feel very rushed, but man, I want to end the video right now. Well, this video teach me something really important next time I plan to make a long video like this. Never record and write the script at the last minute. This video was originally come out in January, but let's say that my semester of college gave me really busy like 6 months. But if I did recordings on weekends, probably this video would have a better storyline and pacing, and yeah, my broken English was a big no-no. So I apologize for that because since I was recording these sections in a rush, and I had no time to make sure I was pronouncing the words correctly. So yeah, that's the reason there are subtitles. Like I say, next video, I promise my English will be better. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. This video was a mess, but I think it was a really important step because it's the first time I make a video like this. If you had a commentary that will help me to improve, like criticisms or anything, it's welcome. So yeah, I hope you liked the video and have a good day. See ya!